All right, good evening, everybody. This is Jordan doing my last sweet speech. Excuse me, I'm kind of tired at this point. My persuasive speech over stem cell research and why I think it should be allowed in part. I'm going to start off with I actually used a few different websites. It's known as the Advancing Science Serving Society, the AAAS. And this is just a little bit of stuff that they posted on their own website just regarding stem cell research in general. Um, the issue of stem cell research burst onto the scientific scene in November of 1998 when researchers reported the isolation of human embryonic stem cells. The discovery was made by Dr. James Thompson, a biologist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Now, the cells are derived from several day-old embryos, which are, in fact, unborn fetuses, or, which brings into the whole right of abortion, which we'll get into later on. But basically, they're able to turn any type of human cell from blood cells to skin cells based on these embryos. And this was, the scientists hope to find ways of using this to repair damage. And this was given to the National Institute of Health report. So basically, the issue regarding stem cells is that it stems from embryonic stem cell research primarily. And now, there's a few different pros and cons. Embryonic stem cells are thought by most scientists and researchers to hold potential cures for spinal cord injuries, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, Parkinson's disease, cancer, Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, and hundreds of rare immune system and genetic disorders. Now, this is coming from the U.S. Liberal Politics News and Issues page on About.com. This is posted by Deborah White, the About.com guide. And that most of those, there's more pros than there are cons, but being Catholic, my primary belief through religious purposes is that abortion is, it's not justifiable and it's not right. However, sometimes science and religion meet in such a way that you have to adjust, I guess is the word. You have to kind of take it cafeteria style. You take what you want and you leave what you don't. But the only real cons to human embryonic stem cell research is that it is based on embryonic stem cells. And pro-life, most Catholics, devout Catholics worldwide, are 100% against it, and that is mainly the nationwide fight. But to give you more information about stem cell research, I really think, based on what Deborah White said off the pros and cons page, that based on the different cures that embryonic stem cell research can provide, that it's entirely possible that military members, my fellow friends, brothers, countrymen, they come home without arms, legs, they're missing major parts of their muscle groups, their skin, and I think this would be really beneficial to military members who have been wounded in war. They could come home, they're not going to grow an entire new leg, but people that have lost muscle function, suffered paralysis, stuff like that. I mean, it's not going to save the world, but it might one step at a time. Based on the other things, the University of Michigan is actually the primary, I guess the nationwide leader in three main types of stem cell research, which is embryonic, adult, and reprogrammed cells known as iPS cells. Now, University of Michigan, they keep up their postings. This is actually directly from the University of Michigan's site, and they kind of keep up with their postings about every 4 to 6 months. They post anything new that they find as far as research purposes. But excuse me, I lost my spot. I apologize. Basically, what they're saying is that the new findings have particular importance for work on induced pluripotent stem cells, the kind of stem cells that don't come from an embryo, but they're coming from adult tissue. Now, the thought process behind this is that if they can get past the embryonic stem cell research and move forward onto adult stem cell research, they can pull stem cells from, willing people that come in and say, I would like to donate, and they would be able to turn those stem cells into skin grafts or muscle structure or cure Parkinson's disease. in somebody else without using embryos, and that's the way that they're trying to get back around the government to beat the ban, which President Bush put into effect back in 2008. But like I said, my primary purpose behind giving you all that information first is just so I can describe, just being on the Wounded Warrior team. I see people coming home, they're missing fingers, they're missing different limbs, and I'm not 100% sure on how stem cell works, but I don't see the harm in research. It's not harming anybody, with the adult stem cell research at least. And there's potential to cure paralysis, Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, maybe even various forms of cancer and coronary disease. The good outweighs the bad in such a heavy level that I just don't see why they don't at least look into it. And especially, like I said, with the military members, I really think that it could be beneficial. I mean, it could be beneficial to everybody, nationwide, worldwide, doesn't matter. But the U.S. is putting itself behind on the R&D, research and development department, while other countries move forward. There's plenty of Americans that actually are willing to fly out of country to, say, Russia or Germany or Switzerland just to get stem cell related treatment, with the hope that they can return to their normal to everyday lives and their normal to everyday function. So I think that if we can move past the embryonic stem cell research into a full-scale adult stem cell research, that we could get past the ban, and that it would further the research and development for the United States and actually help save lives in the United States without sending people to the outside source. That's my speech. Thank you.